In Barrington, shots fired, a car crashes, 2 people in the hospital. We'll have details. Hundreds of body cameras about to arrive at the CPD. Will they help restore community trust and improve officer performance? And it's opening day tomorrow at Wrigley. Is Wrigleyville ready? I'm Bill Muller. Those are the top stories this hour. We'll get to them after we hear from this guy, meteorologist Jim Ramsey in the WGN Weather Center. Hi there, Jim. You're standing in front of a wall of green. That means a lot of rain.
Well, I know for those individuals with tickets to the Cubs game, they're probably concerned looking at this radar picture that does in fact show quite a lot of rain moving through the area. The good news is the rain will have moved out in time for Monday's game. The bad news is the temperatures are not going to improve much over today's levels. Temperatures around the Chicago area today mostly in the mid-40s. Those clouds and rainfall have cooperated in a sense to keep the temperatures a little lower than we had hoped. But it looks like as cooler air builds in from the west-northwest, tomorrow promises to be a chilly day with a high in the mid-40s. So if you're going to the Cubs game, make sure you dress not only for the mid-40s, but maybe for a little bit of a breeze that could make the air feel a bit chillier.
Some breaking news. We've got information but no video yet. A local woman among 2 Southern University students who were shot and killed outside an apartment complex in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. According to the Tribune, one of the victims is 19-year-old Annette January, a native of Gary, Indiana. The other victim, a 19-year-old from Louisiana. January was a freshman, a member of the track and field team. Police say there are no known suspects or any motives right now. Of course, we'll bring you updated information as we're able to gather it. A shooting, a car crash, people in the hospital, all happened in northwest suburban Barrington early this morning. Let's get it sorted out now. Here's WGN's Taman Bradley on the scene. Taman?
Yeah, hi, Bill. A violent scene here overnight in Barrington, a shooting and then a car crash. Officers raced to the scene at Route 14 and Shirley Drive here in Barrington a little after 3 this morning. They found a dark-colored Chevy Malibu with its front smashed in. The car crashed into a railroad crossing. Investigators took pictures and poured over evidence of the scene. Before the crash, there was some kind of incident at an apartment complex. Police were on the scene there, and it looked like they saw a bullet hole in a window. They took pictures of that as well. That residence is about a block away from where the car crashed. Barrington police are investigating along with the Cook County Major Case Assistance Team. Now, there is no word on the nature or the extent of the injuries for the 2 people here in Barrington, and police say that the investigation continues. We're in Barrington. Taman Bradley, WGN News.
Taman, thanks. That's Eddie Johnson. He's Chicago's interim police superintendent, and he is pledging to start wearing a body camera tomorrow when he goes on patrol. And he's ordered his command staff to do the same. A shipment of more than 450 of these cameras will be arriving this week. This is a pilot program that will have fully 1/3 of the officers on the streets wearing these cameras. Johnson says he hopes the body cameras will restore trust and accountability in the department. City documents show Chicago police and some members of the mayor's staff spied on protesters after the Laquan McDonald video was made public. The Sun-Times reports last November, Rahm Emanuel's deputy chief of staff went to the Office of Emergency Management to keep tabs on the protesters organized by the Black Youth Project 100. It was the same group monitored by undercover officers. The paper says CPD's top attorney approved an investigation of protesters in October, including Black Lives Matter, churches, and nonprofits. A police spokesperson says it was routine, legal, and documented to ensure transparency with the public. An in-house memorial service will be held for famed Chicago chef Jean-Claude Polivet at one of his 2 restaurants this week. Polivet was killed early yesterday morning in a 15-car pileup on the Eisenhower. Police say the IC road service was a major contributor to the accident that kept the outbound expressway closed for about 10 hours. The Tribune reports Chef Polivet was returning home from work at his Bucktown restaurant Le Bouchon. The 71-year-old also owns La Sardine in the West Loop, and that restaurant is where the public service will be held this Thursday evening. His 2 establishments are closed this evening, but they are expected to reopen tomorrow. A construction worker killed by a 45-ton steel beam on one of our tollways was laid to rest today. 47-year-old Vicente Santoyo was part of a crew that was removing the enormous beam from the two-way overpass on I-90 earlier this week. The beam fell, killing him instantly and injuring 3 of his co-workers. Santoyo leaves behind a wife and 4 children. Today's service was held in his hometown of Berwyn. The Chicago bomb squad spent time in the Loop this morning with a suspicious object. It was found near a statue in the 200 block of South Dearborn. Police diverted traffic. They temporarily stopped Blue Line trains. The all clear was given a few hours later, but it is unclear just what the package turned out to be. If you're going to be at Wrigley Field tomorrow for the home opener for the Cubs, or maybe you're going to take in a home game later this season, well, the whole ballpark's going to look a little different, maybe feel a little different too. Let's talk with Julian Green. He's the VP of Communications and Community Affairs for the Cubs. So better bathrooms, better bleachers, better baseball. We've certainly seen that. I guess the whole all-around fans' experience is going to be enhanced. And I assume the first thing people are going to notice are those metal detectors.
That's true. There's going to be a lot of familiar faces, but probably the most unfamiliar face around the ballpark will be the metal detectors. And we're getting ready to enter this new era of security, if you will. And so we're doing our best to make sure that we can get our fans in as quickly and as efficiently as possible, but we're going to need their help. We're going to need them to come early. We're going to need them to change their behavior. So if you were in the restaurant or bar, you know, last couple seasons waiting till Wayne Mesmer sings the national anthem, you're probably going to have to...
You're going to be standing in line when you're hearing the crowd cheering for things you're not seeing.
Exactly. We need you to leave the restaurant a little earlier.
What else are people going to notice after that?
Once they come in, they will notice that we've continued to do a lot of reconstruction work in terms of, or structural work in the main concourse, steel and concrete. We've replaced 7,000 seats on the terrace level. You will see, if you're able to go into the bleacher areas, we have one of those lucky bleacher tickets. We've put together a bleacher display, almost kind of a faux museum, if you will, of a lot of different artifacts and a lot of haloed Wrigley Field artifacts that people will get a chance to see, and a couple new concessions. The Budweiser Bleacher Bar will open on the ground floor tomorrow, and behind the marquee, our world famous marquee that got restored this year, a new marquee grill, which is serving a lot of ballpark fare. So a lot of good things for the fans.
So is there going to be more than brats and burgers and hot dogs? Is it going to be you delving into the exotica perchance?
Well, at the marquee grill, you'll probably have a little bit of traditional ballpark fare. At the Budweiser Bleacher Bar, more of your unique beverage experiences, beer and wine, what have you. But hot dogs is coming back for those bleacher ticket holders that were there last year. A lot of new recipes that will be coming out. A lot of new sausages as well in terms of our concessions. So a lot of good food. So people should come hungry.
And Julian, there's a lot of work that probably people will notice. Where'd the McDonald's go for one? You know, there's a lot of ongoing work.
That's correct. I think when you come back, many people will be surprised to see that those golden arches that have been there for years will be gone, but only for 20 months. We're getting ready to start construction, hopefully soon, on the hotel, the boutique hotel, about 175 rooms, and the McDonald's will come back. But the one thing that people won't see, that's probably one of the biggest deliverables this year, is the clubhouse, 30,000 square feet. We think it's going to rival every clubhouse in baseball, actually be the best in baseball, but our players are ready.
I've seen a lot of reviews. People are just thrilled, at least the critics are, with the idea that you've polished up sort of the ornate grandeur of what ballparks used to be like.
Part of what we wanted to do was restore the ballpark to its golden age, which we like to say around the 1930s. And so a lot of the ornate fencing and the terracotta tiles are coming back. We've removed a lot of the chain link fences and the concrete slabs along the western facade of the ballpark, and so it looks absolutely marvelous. Looks like a going back into history, if you will, when you're coming to the ballpark. And of course the marquee, which is went up a couple days ago, which used to be when it was put up green and gold. But we decided to return the marquee to the bright red,
Cub red
that people know and love. But if you're inside the ballpark and you go up to the Marquee Bar and Grill, we actually left the other side green. And so it is a replica drawing of Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs, on the other side, painted in gold. It's pretty cool, so I think fans will love it.
Well, everybody gets a chance to see it for the first time tomorrow, and I bet they're going to be happy fans. Obviously, the purists will have quibbled maybe with details, but all in all, it just looks fantastic.
Hey, it's been a great week of baseball already for Cubs fans, and we're so excited, and looks, so far so good on the broadcast so far. So looking like we're taking care of business. So we're hoping that we're welcome back in our team with a win, and we're going to get started. It's going to be pretty exciting.
All right, Julian Green from the Cubs. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
You're a busy guy. I appreciate you coming in. Well, the Cubs play tomorrow night. The game begins at 7:05. If you can't be there, watch it on our sister station, WGN TV. Pre-game coverage starts on the WGN Evening News. For the presidential candidates, all eyes are on New York State. That's the next primary. There's a new poll out. We'll tell you who's leading after this.